How's it going, guys? Welcome back. So about a few minutes ago, Matt LaFleur had his press conference, and we've had some slight update to the injuries we suffered against the Minnesota Vikings yesterday, which include Quay Walker, Chris Barnes, Keshawn Nixon, and John Runyan. Starting with the inside linebacker position, Quay Walker suffered an apparent shoulder injury. It wasn't too bad. He did leave the game, and according to Matt LaFleur, they're going to give him a week, but they're pretty hopeful that he'll be back ready to roll. So it sounds like he avoided any potential significant injury, which is really good to hear because he looked very good while on the field, making very quick reads and just attacking the ball. He kind of looked a little suspect in coverage, but he was covering receivers for a lot of the targets or a lot of the catches that he allowed. So I'm not going to really fault him, especially if one of them is Justin Jefferson, who just absolutely torched our defense. But it sounds like, if anything, Quay Walker will at the most miss 1 week, so that's very good to hear. And hopefully we get him back this week, and he's actually really good to go against the Bears. As for Chris Barnes, his injury looked brutal. Made a tackle against Alexander Madison and immediately went down. Trainers came onto the field, and they put him in an air cast, and that usually means potentially season-ending injury. Usually when I've seen it, like, their season's pretty much done. But the news is actually a lot better than expected. They're calling it a high ankle sprain. I still expect him to potentially hit the IR. It sounds like he could still be out 3 to 6 weeks, 3 to 7 weeks. So he could hit the IR spot. And all things considered, considering how brutal the injury looked initially on the field, I think we actually got lucky with this one because Chris Barnes is still a very good inside linebacker. And with those two linebackers going out, Isaiah McDuffie ended up finishing the game. He had a good preseason. He only had a few snaps over in this game, so it's going to be interesting if both Quay Walker and obviously Chris Barnes cannot go next week. Isaiah McDuffie will most likely get the start, and how he'll actually do against actual NFL starters, and especially just potentially trying to cover Justin Fields if he's on a spy. But we'll know more come Wednesday when they come out with an injury report of where the team stands. Moving to the cornerback group, Keshawn Nixon did go out with a shoulder injury as well. He made a good third down tackle, stopping them. As soon as he tackled him, he looked like he was in pain and motioned towards the sideline, saying, "Yo, my shoulder's pretty much done." There's no update yet on what or how severe his injury is, but we'll probably know more come Wednesday. Then lastly, John Runyan, he left with a concussion. It doesn't sound too bad. It sounds like he could have came in, but they just held him out. And Zach Tom took his spot on the offensive line. And Zach Tom looked really good. Like, he needs to start, especially on the right side somewhere. He needs to start, especially if John Runyan Jr. is going to take that left guard spot again. He needs to start on the right side because they were kind of getting destroyed in the game. So hopefully we see Zach Tom in the game as a starter next week, even if John Runyan Jr. comes in. But we'll know more Wednesday of where John Runyan's status, along with the other 3 injuries we sustained in the game against the Minnesota Vikings. But all in all, it sounds like for the most part we avoided significant injury, especially on the Chris Barnes status, because once again, that looked terrible. That wraps it up for the updates on the injuries we sustained yesterday. Leave a like or a comment down below, and of course subscribe to the channel. And as always, go Pack Go.